Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy SPJ again, coming back with another video. This one will be focused on my Baltimore Ravens. First things first, rest in peace, Trey Walker, the young second-year cornerback, lost his life last week in Miami. You'll be missed. All right, so let's get into some of the news and the state of the Ravens right now. So, anybody that isn't that big a fan or doesn't know anything about them at all and is listening, and if you care, last year the Ravens went 5-11. Wasn't a good year for us. A lot of injuries. Also, a lot of bad decisions culminated in the bad year that we had last year. But I'm getting to that in a different video. This one right here is just talking about our off-season so far. So, biggest loss so far, obviously, KO, Kelechi Osemele. Couldn't afford to keep him. Understandable, it's a business. But it kind of messes up two spots because who knows where Eugene Monroe's head is going to be. Who knows where his body's going to be, realistically. But who knows where his head is going to be, and he's currently our starting left tackle. And KO could have potentially filled that spot. But now he's gone, and that means that we lost what could have been our potential left tackle and what was a top 10 guard in the league. Some say number 2, only next to Marshall Yonder. But that's not here nor there. Really no opinions on that other than it was a big loss. Nothing we can do about it. So, next thing, cutting Will Hill. Now, when we first cut Will Hill, my first thought was, what the hell? What are we thinking? What's going on? Then, hours later, it came out that he had received a 10-game suspension. I believe it was 10 games, but however many games it was, for another violation of the drug policy. I don't get it. I'll never understand why people throw their lives away, their livelihoods away, should I say, over weed. I don't get it, but it's not for me to get. He was a promising young safety. When he was on the field and playing at his best, he did his thing. But we don't have to worry about that now. He's gone. That being said, we also got Darius Webb being moved to safety, and we signed Eric Weddle. Eric Weddle has been one of the best safeties in the league for years, and about a lot of people talk him playing free safety and who's going to play strong safety because Webb's not big enough and blah 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 blah. First of all, Eric Weddle's skills lean more towards being a strong safety. His skills and his play style. He actually was a strong safety when his rookie year with the Chargers. He was a strong safety. He got moved to free safety, I believe, because he was the best safety on the team. There was no better safety available on their roster, and his coverage skills were the best out of the safeties that they had available. So that's one thing. The other thing is Webb was a corner. He played safety as well in college, but he recently was a corner. Corners cover. And I'm pretty sure they would have him playing free safety because his skills more directly translate to that. But even with all that being said, coaches put players in the best position to win and to take advantage of their skills. So even if Eric Weddle is officially listed as a free safety and Webb is listed as a strong safety, which I don't think is the case yet, but even if that's the case, their assignments and what they do will cater to their individual skills. I'm pretty sure of it. Between Leslie Frazier and Dean Pease, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to be out of position. On top of that, Eric Weddle's a pretty smart guy. Darius Webb's a pretty smart guy. So I don't think we have to worry about that. To the signings. So we signed Ben Watson. I believe he's 36-year-old tight end from the he also played for the Patriots and the Browns, I believe. He just had a career year. That was with Drew Brees. Joe Flacco is not Drew Brees. But I think it's a good signing. They needed a tight end because Nick Boyle, another knucklehead so far, is suffering a 10-game suspension for, I think, PED policy. And Crockett Gilmore was hurt. Not sure if he'll be available at the beginning of the year or not. We all know Dennis Pitta is still up in the air whether or not he's going to play. I'm not even sure if they're going to keep him on the roster. So we needed a tight end. He's a reliable tight end, sure hands, pretty good blocker. And after last year, I kind of think that, it was a good move. Next, I went over Weddle, I went over Watson, and the last W, Mike Wallace. Now, a lot of fans I've seen are split about this. I kind of am too. Mike Wallace, in his first, I believe he was with the Steelers for 4 years, he showed all the potential in the world. He was a game changer, game breaker. That being said, people like to look at his last 3 years and lump them together and try to use that as evidence that he's falling off. But after I did some actual research, because a lot of people will just go off of what they hear and what they think rather than actually look at facts. After I did some actual research, I realized that he didn't have that bad of a time in Miami. Minnesota, he had a horrible year. But in Miami, he put up touchdowns and put up yards. You could possibly argue that he didn't put up number one wide receiver production, I guess. I would have to look at the stats again, but I'm pretty sure he did put up number one wide receiver production in Miami. Minnesota, their offense did not do enough to cater to his skill set. It's just what it was. That being said, there's a reason why Miami decided to trade him. What that reason is, I don't know. Some people are saying that he's a distraction in the locker room. I don't know how true that is. And a lot of Ravens fans were upset because of the things that he said about the Ravens in the past. But he played for the Steelers. Of course he's going to have bad things to say about the Ravens because we are the rival. The last bad thing that I recall him ever saying about the Ravens happened in his first year in Miami before he played anybody from the NFC East. So he hasn't even gotten into a new rivalry yet. So yes, the fresh thing on his mind as far as rivalries would be the Baltimore Ravens. So do I think it's a good signing? I think so. I hope so. There was an article up on the Ravens website where Torrey Smith was talking about Mike Wallace, and the comparison was made between the receiver core that we had the year that we went and won the Super Bowl, and the receiving core that we're gonna have now so far. You had two speedsters. Back then it was Torrey and Jacoby. Now it's Mike Wallace and Rashad Perriman. Reliable tight end. Back then it was Dennis Pitta. Right now it's, you can say Ben Watson, Gilmore. We have a good group of tight ends. The cagey, aggressive, alpha male veteran back then, it was Aquan Bolden. Now we got Steve Smith. So our receiving core kind of mirrors the one that we had the year that we went to the Super Bowl. So I can't wait to see what else Ozzie and company pull out of their hats and see what else, whatever additions are going to be made, whatever subtractions are going to be made, and see what that final roster is going to be like. And yeah, that's it. I guess I'll talk to you guys later.